Hi friends, it's Victor Costa, Peace, Love, and Muscles. Hope you're doing well. Hope you're having an outstanding day. Wanted to share with you my bicep progress. I wanted to share with you a couple of tips and techniques that hopefully you'll be able to incorporate into your bicep work, and hopefully you'll be able to say by the end of this video that this was not a waste of 7 minutes of your life that you'll never get back. So that's my objective, and I want to share with you some of these techniques. And you know what's interesting is when I was a kid, I guess 16, 17 years old, the bodybuilder that I admired quite a bit was a guy named Lance Dreher. I don't know if you've ever seen Lance Dreher, but he had terrific arms. And although Arnold, of course, was the epitome of bicep and arm development, I always wanted arms like Lance Dreher. And I remember having a magazine that had his bicep workout in it that really entailed quite a bit of concentration curls. And I did that early on when I was first starting out. A lot of concentration curls, sitting down, elbow into the interior of the leg, and just kind of lifting up and trying to develop that shape and continuously doing that movement. And I remember that was one of the only things I could do because I was home, I recall, with the chicken pox and I was unable to participate in team sports. So bodybuilding was really something that I could do at home at my own pace, and feeling very weak and disconnected from the rest of my classmates. It was something that made me feel sort of empowered at home. And so, just a little bit of a recollection, memory lane type stuff. But I wanted to share with you tonight some of the techniques and some of the things that I'm doing that I know will help. Please try these before you comment on the video. So you might say, Vic, what are you doing messing around with 12.5-pound dumbbells? Let me tell you, I'm reconnecting with my body. I'm getting in touch with my bicep. A lot of times we grab heavy weights, and what happens, guys? We tend to mobilize the muscles that are strongest and move the weights from point A to point B while missing the intended muscle group, the muscle that we want to work. I can assure you that with 12.5-pound dumbbells, 15-pound dumbbells, that you're going to be able to at least kind of get connected to the bicep. So I want to share with you, and I would love for you to try this. You'll notice that my wrist is neutral or straight. It's in the same position that if I were to just extend my arm in the eccentric part of the movement, just bring my arm down, I remain in that wrist position throughout the entire repetition. So I'm not curling my wrist up to abbreviate the movement in any way, shape, or form. I'm keeping the movement very broad. That's one thing that I'm doing. The other thing that I'm doing is that I am lifting up my hand first. In other words, my neck isn't jolting the weights up. My traps aren't moving the weights up. My shoulders aren't. There's not a little flick of the waist that's giving this momentum. It's dead weight, and then I'm moving my wrist or my hand up first. I'd like you to think about that. Make sure that your hand or the weights are the only thing that move first. Next, I'd like you to mentally connect with this concept. Think about lifting your arm up rather than lifting up the weights, right? It's a very subtle difference. It's something that you can use to connect to your arms in the midst of the exercises. Think about lifting up your arm rather than lifting up the weights, and it will refocus you back into the body rather than put the focus on the weights. So there's three things that we're doing right there, right? We've got a neutral or straight wrist. We're making sure that the first thing that moves is the hand, if you will, and we're also focusing on lifting up the arm rather than lifting up the weights. So this will help put you back into your body, right? See, we tend to move the weights from point A to point B in the easiest way possible, right? That's what our bodies try to do. It's a smart thing to do. We're trying to move something from point A to point B. Let's engage the strongest muscles. Let's put our bodies in a position of leverage. But what I'm trying to express to you is that the best way to focus on a muscle group that you want to work is to put your body in a position of deleverage, and you can start by using a light weight. A lot of guys right now are saying, oh, this is nonsense, the weight's too light. I'd like you to just extend your arm right now and lift up your arm in a bicep curl. You probably feel your bicep flex, but sometimes when you go into the gym, you suddenly add the resistance and you can't feel that anymore. Why is that? Think about it. It's because your body is trying to figure out how to get that wave from point A to point B in the easiest way possible. And what I'm trying to share with you is that there's a lot of things in between that point A and point B that you could be focusing on that will contribute to your development. Okay? So the other thing that you may or may not be able to see is that my hands are relaxed, right? I'm not absorbing a lot of this stress and energy in my hands and my wrists and in my forearm. So we've got 3 or 4 things, right? Let's review. Neutral or straight wrist. That's number 1. That position remains throughout the entire movement. Number 2, hands relaxed and light and just lifting up a light grip so that we're not putting any energy in the wrist and the forearm. The third thing that we're doing is making sure that the hand moves first. No jolting in the shoulders, no jolting at the hips. And the fourth thing is more mental and subtle. It is making sure that you are lifting up your arm rather than the weights. I'd love you to try all these things, guys. Peace, love, and muscles. Please comment after you've tried them. Love you guys. All the best. Take care. Bye-bye.